On November 23, 1998, Dan Osman was getting ready to break a world record. The famous rock climber was about to perform one of his most dangerous feats, one that few would even think about. But what he didn't know was that this would be the last leap of faith he would ever take. This is the story of Daniel Eugene Osman, a legend in the world of extreme sports, whose life was as daring as the cliffs he climbed and the leaps he took. Born on February 11, 1963, in Orange County, Dan Osman's journey was one that defied norms and embraced the adrenaline of danger. His love affair with climbing began early in life, eventually leading him to the perilous practice of free soloing, the art of scaling rock faces without ropes, harnesses, or safety gear. This high-stakes dance with death was not merely a sport for Osman, it was a manifestation of his innermost desires, a testament to his belief in the human body's potential and the strength of the human spirit. Osman lived a life that many would describe as bohemian. By day, he was a carpenter, a trade that allowed him the flexibility to pursue his true passion, rock climbing. His home was the beautiful Lake Tahoe in California, a place that provided him with not just a residence but a playground for his climbing adventures. Osman's life at Lake Tahoe was a balance of simplicity and extremity. He was a central figure in the development of climbing routes in the Cave Rock area at Tahoe and many other areas in the Carson City region. His contribution to the sport went beyond his personal pursuits. He was instrumental in shaping the landscape of rock climbing in these areas. Osman's climbing exploits were not confined to the solitude of the mountains. He was a frequent subject of rock climbing videos, which brought the niche sport of free soloing to a broader audience. His participation in these films not only showcased his exceptional skills, but also helped to popularize a sport that was, until then, relatively unknown to the general public. His approach to climbing was an art form. Climbers and non-climbers alike were mesmerized by his ability to maneuver challenging routes with what seemed like effortless grace. In one of his most famous climbs, depicted in the rock climbing film series Masters of Stone, Osman conquered Slayer, a route at Cave Rock. This climb was not just a physical challenge but a mental one, requiring an intimate understanding of the rock, absolute precision, and an unwavering trust in one's abilities. Osman's life story is not just a tale of an extreme sports enthusiast. It is a narrative of a man who lived on his terms, pushing the boundaries of human potential and constantly challenging the limits of what was considered possible in the world of rock climbing. His journey, marked by an unyielding pursuit of adventure and an indomitable spirit, up until the day it went wrong. On that fateful day in late November 1998, Osman set out to conquer a new challenge, one that would unfortunately etch his name in history for its tragic outcome. The setting for this ambitious endeavor was the iconic Leaning Tower in Yosemite National Park, a place that had witnessed many of Osman's successful feats. However, this time, the outcome was devastatingly different. Osman's plan was to perform a controlled free-fall jump from the Leaning Tower, a feat that involved jumping from the formation and being caught by a carefully rigged system of safety ropes. This was not just another climb or a typical jump, it was an attempt to push the boundaries of the sport and his capabilities to the absolute limit. The jump from Leaning Tower was meant to be a record-breaking leap, a testament to Osman's skill, courage, and innovative spirit in the world of extreme sports. The preparation for the jump was meticulous. Osman, known for his careful planning and attention to detail, had set up a complex system of ropes designed to ensure his safety during the fall. The main jump rope consisted of several ropes tied together, a configuration he had tested and trusted in his previous jumps. The record he aimed to set was over 1,000 feet, a daring distance that reflected both his ambition and his confidence in his methods. On November 23, 1998, Osman proceeded with the jump, unaware that it would be his last. The sequence of events that followed would later be scrutinized in an attempt to understand what went wrong. According to reports from the National Park Service and Chris Harmston of Black Diamond Equipment, a critical mistake had been made. The main jump rope, due to a change in the jump site angle, crossed and caught on itself at a knot during Osman's fall. This unexpected event caused the rope to cut itself by melting under the intense friction generated during the fall. Osman's confidence in his setup was evident. His friend and fellow extreme sport practitioner, Miles Deisher, who was with Osman during the jumps leading up to the fatal incident, recounted that the ropes used had been exposed to inclement weather for over a month. Despite this, Osman had performed several successful jumps on the same ropes in the days preceding the accident. The aftermath of Osman's jump was a scene of confusion and distress. His friend, Miles Daisher, who was present during the jump, recalled the harrowing moments that followed. After Osman leapt from the leaning tower, Daisher, witnessing from a vantage point, saw the rope straighten and heard it whip through the air, a sound they had both become accustomed to in their numerous jumps. However, this time, the sound was abruptly followed by a chilling scream and a crash, indicating something had gone horribly wrong. Daisher, in a state of shock and disbelief, quickly rappelled down to the base of the formation, desperately hoping for the best, but fearing the worst. His fears were confirmed when he found Osman's lifeless body. The scene was a stark contrast to the vibrant and daring life Osman had lived, a somber reminder of the fine line between extreme sport and extreme risk. Harmston's analysis concluded that the rope was severed by its own sliding action against itself. The investigation revealed that the sheath of the rope was heavily melted in several sections, indicating a sliding action against itself, which ultimately led to its failure. This analysis dispelled earlier theories of a tensile overload or external tampering as causes of the rope's failure. Further experiments conducted by Harmston in a controlled lab setting confirmed that the rope's failure was due to the specific conditions and dynamics of the jump, rather than any material weakness or damage to the rope itself. Further into the investigation, Harmston conducted experiments in his lab to determine if tensile overload could have been a factor in the rope's failure. The results showed that the ropes used by Osman were in excellent condition and displayed no signs of damage from previous falls, UV exposure, or weathering. Harmston's conclusion was unequivocal. The rope's failure was not due to their condition, but rather the specific circumstances of the jump itself. The revelation that the ropes had been exposed to inclement weather, including rain and snow, for over a month prior to the jump added another layer of complexity to the investigation. Despite this, the same ropes had been used for several shorter jumps on the days leading up to the accident without any issue. This tragedy, which took the life of one of the most renowned figures in the world of extreme sports, was a sobering reminder of the unpredictable nature of such activities. Osman, a seasoned practitioner known for his meticulous planning and execution, had fallen victim to a rare miscalculation, a stark reminder that even the most experienced and prepared athletes are not immune to the inherent risks of their pursuits. In the aftermath, the climbing community, friends, and family grappled with the loss. Questions about the risks associated with extreme sports, the fine line between adventure and recklessness, and the cost of pursuing one's passions to the edge dominated discussions. Osman, in his relentless quest to defy gravity and explore the limits of human capability, had become a symbol of both the extraordinary potential and the inherent dangers of extreme sports. Reflecting on his legacy, it's clear that Osman's contributions to climbing and extreme sports were profound. He was a pioneer, constantly exploring new possibilities in free soloing and rope jumping. His innovative spirit and fearless approach inspired a generation of climbers and adventurers to push their limits and explore new horizons. Osman's presence in the climbing films, particularly the Masters of Stone series, helped bring the sport of free soloing into the mainstream, showcasing the exhilarating beauty and inherent risks of climbing without ropes. His climbs were not just physical feats, but artistic expressions, displaying a harmonious blend of strength, agility, and an intimate understanding of the rock. Beyond his climbing achievements, Osman's personality left an indelible mark on those who knew him. Described as charismatic, kind, and generous, he was as much admired for his human qualities as for his athletic prowess. His life was a testament to living passionately, embracing challenges, and the relentless pursuit of one's dreams, regardless of the risks involved. In the years following his death, Osman's influence has persisted. His approach to climbing, his philosophy of facing fear head-on, and his spirit of adventure continue to inspire climbers around the world. The climbing routes he pioneered, the techniques he developed, and the stories of his daring exploits are recounted with a mix of awe and reverence. Osman's death also served as a catalyst for discussions about safety in extreme sports. His accident underscored the importance of understanding and respecting the risks involved in such activities, prompting many in the climbing community to reevaluate their approach to risk management. As we reflect on Dan Osman's life and legacy, we are reminded of the thin line that exists between pursuing one's passions and the inherent risks that accompany such pursuits. His story is a reminder of the human spirit's capacity for greatness and the sometimes tragic cost of pushing the limits of what is humanly possible. In the climbing community and beyond, Dan Osman will always be remembered as a symbol of fearlessness, innovation, and the unyielding pursuit of one's dreams. leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire and challenge adventurers around the world.